why I really came back to using my platform with my heart. If you've ever felt that I need to take a huge break from social media, from podcasting, from peopling, this episode is just for you. And I'm going to share how it unraveled for me and what's happening now and how it can help you. So, my name is Drew Koss. I'm a podcast strategist. I love helping people launch their podcasts, especially faith-based leaders, to help them get their messages out to the world. Maybe about 3 months ago, I found myself in this place of almost anger. I started hating social media with a passion. I had deleted my TikTok. I had deleted Threads. The shout outs, Threads had started off to be something really, really cool. And then it just turned into like the baby brother or baby sister of, of Twitter, X. I deleted those two. I had stopped using Facebook and I just stopped really loving Instagram. And I kept telling myself, if I didn't have a business, I wouldn't even use this thing. Now, I was a person posting at least 3 times a day minimum, right? So I was using it. I had gotten my account deleted twice. I had an account that was about 4,000 people got it deleted. I had a second account that was about, it started growing, that got deleted. So I was just sick of it. With all of that happening, I believe God was calling me into a deeper intimacy with Him. I believe also that He was calling me into more discipleship training so that I could not only be better for me, but to actually disciple more people. And I just got sick of the highlight reels. Now, I'm not saying that social media is wrong. I'm not saying that if you use it, something bad is going to happen. I'm not saying that, and you see as we get further along. With all of that, I was moving out of state. So there was loads of uncertainty, some anxiety, some stress, some fear. I was getting sick. And I just kept feeling like I'm giving this platform so much attention and it's giving me almost nothing in return. Like I wasn't really making any sales or anything. I kept doing some YouTube and that was cool. And I came to a point where I just stopped using it. And it had been about 8 weeks. I didn't use it. I didn't care. People were asking me, was I okay? And things of that nature. But I didn't care. I started caring more about like, what's the message that God wants me to share with the world? What am I building in the background? And what do I want to actually say? I want to be clear. I want to be intentional. And I don't want to be like anybody else. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way, but I just want to be me at all times. I don't want to try to make a highlight reel for someone to think that I'm always on, I'm perfect, or that I don't have bad days and stuff like that. I don't want to portray that on social media. And I found myself often comparing myself to other people who were further. And I'm going to be honest, people who I saw and knew who weren't as skilled, just like, I don't know, just making it happen, so to say. So within those weeks, I sat with God more. I became more intentional of writing. And at first I thought I had some ideas. I thought I was going to do that. I thought I was going to do that. I had tons of ideas how to come back, how to do things. And every time I would get ready to just come back, I would just feel like this pull to be like, not yet. Right? We're building something behind the scenes that's going to last. We're building something that you don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. Let's just stop right there. Have you ever felt that I'm comparing myself to other people? That's why I can't fully be me. Or I'm in this season of major transition and I still feel the need that I have to be who I've always been on these platforms. Right? I've talked to tons of moms who were in transitions and they felt that. I've talked to guys in transitions. I was in a major transition, moving from one state to another state, 18-hour difference, leaving my comfort zone of my old home to my new home, just so much uncertainty. And I'm almost was punishing myself until I just sat and realized and sat with God that you'll burn out if you keep going like this, but I'll birth out a message in you if you pause right now. What if God is causing you to pause? Like, what's the worst that could happen? You feel that you may lose momentum. You feel you may lose credibility. You might feel that you might lose sales. But if God is pulling you away and he's asking you to pause and just think, right, whatever he's asking you to do, that means there's greater ahead if you actually obey him. Now, you could disobey him. Like, God's not going to make you do the things. You could disobey him and completely do the opposite. And I tell you this, when you do the opposite, you meet burnout face to face. And it does not feel good because after the burnout, you have to recover. Or what if God is saying, hey, I want you to go and use this platform this way. And this is where I'm coming at to use the platforms of social media in a different way. Now, if you've known me at all, I've been known as a fitness coach, a life coach, whatever type of coach, content coach, whatever. But I had this deep talk with my wife. We were taking a ride after a long day, and we were just discussing, like, what does God want from us in this season? We know for a fact it's going to be something where we disciple people. We know that. And we were like, what does he want from jobs and things like that? And I was just writing for days and thinking, and I was like, maybe it's fitness. And I was like, but I don't even study fitness anymore. I don't even yearn for it anymore. I don't think about it at all. But something that I never stopped thinking about all this time was helping people get their message out. And that's in the form of being a podcast strategist, helping people launch their podcast and grow it with their brand. And I told my wife, I said, the thing that happens is you'll get like a co-working space, or you'll get a person who has a studio, and they're like, hey, we have the equipment. You can just come in and use it, right? With that, it's a great thing. But most people who are nervous of starting a podcast, they'll never get there. And they'll get overwhelmed by the equipment, the software, the space. They'll get overwhelmed by all of that stuff. And then the people who are not overwhelmed by that, who have the equipment, usually don't want a podcast. So it's like you have this in between. So I was talking to my wife, and I was like, the gap that I believe I can fill because I have a passion for this is the people who know I need to launch it or I need to relaunch it, but I know for a fact I'm going to stop at the technical part of it. I'm going to stop at the back end stuff of the editing, the scheduling, the SEO stuff. I'm going to get hung up there and quit. And I said, that's my lane. And she said something that hit me so hard. She said, if you're going to dream it, let's find out how we can actually put it into some action items. But let's also not try to be known for everything and pick that one lane. And I cannot tell you how that was always my struggle. It was always my struggle because as an entrepreneur, sometimes when you get bored with something, you start thinking that I need to just go create another business. I need to go do this. Alex Hormozi said this, and it helped me majorly. He said, if you're creative and things like that happen, keep the main thing and get creative with the marketing. Don't get creative with the main thing. Just stick with it. So I put down, I'm going to help people launch podcasts who need to be heard. I cried in a prayer, just crying out to God that God, there are people who have messages who need to share, who want to share, who are hung up in the technical part. If that's you, I want you to DM me or just comment on this video who know I need to launch it. I need a strategy so I don't just give up. Most people, if you look at the statistics, most podcasters don't get past episode 3. So people are thinking that everyone has a podcast. Most people stop at episode 3 because they're overcome by not having the strategy, the technical part of it, and that sometimes it doesn't look as flashy as a social media reel. But what it does, it gives people a chance to sit with you, to listen to you, and that is what builds trust. So long form content is going to build trust. And I said, I'll come back and I want to stay in this lane, Lord, because I want the people who you are picking and the people who you've picked to share their messages to the world. I want them to succeed. And if my gift of helping them strategize, do the back end stuff, can help them, I know we'll have more voices than just the ones, this is going to sound bad, that the enemy is using to magnify their agendas. I believe strongly that people who love God, who are for God, disciple, can do amazing things. And that's not to say that I'm only helping people who are faith-based. No, I'm just saying there are people who have a message, who have a calling, who have a place where they know if I can get there and I can share this message, people are going to be helped, set free. They're going to be delivered. They're going to sense God. They're going to sense freedom. But if they don't press record, if they don't go ahead and do the podcast, it's not going to happen. They're going to be on hold. So with all of that, this is why I'm coming back. I had put down, I've shot over 400 episodes myself. I've helped people launch their podcasts. I've helped over 50 people launch their podcasts. I ran podcast boot camps and things of that nature. And I came to the conclusion that I love this. I need to simplify it so that I can serve the people who I'm called to serve. I'm not serving everybody. I'm not trying to appeal to everybody. I'm not trying to be the go-to for everything. I'm going to help people who feel they have a message, a call, and the pull to podcast. I'm going to help those people. Now, with all of that, I was still fighting. Bop, 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 bop. I'm like, wait, you got the king of podcasts, David Shands, you got Omar, you got all of these guys. Why would people want to come to me when they have them? And this is no shout out towards those guys because I love David Shands, I love Omar. I was reminded that people are going to come to you because they want to work with what's inside of you, which is the Spirit of God. I'm not saying the Spirit of God is not in them. I'm saying they're going to relate to something in you. They're going to vibe with you totally different to actually want to work with you. And for you, the person who's thinking that everyone's already doing what I'm doing, why would I need to get out there? Sometimes you don't realize that you are you, and people want you. People want how you say it, how you do it, how you make them feel when they do what they do. That's your gift. That's your calling. That's your anointing. So if you're that person and you're like, I need to do it, but I'm comparing myself to somebody who has a bigger audience, somebody who has a better sounding voice, better equipment. Right now, all my equipment is not with me. I need more equipment. I gave away all my lights. I gave away so much stuff. So I'm just sitting in my dining room with the lights behind me, which is natural light, and I'm recording because I want this message to get to the people who are stalling, who are trying to perfect something that God is saying, I need you to just move. I need you to just go ahead. You're trying to perfect something that I never told you you had to perfect. I never told you you needed to make it perfect. I told you to go. I told you to start. And if you feel that's you, I want to help you. If that's not you, that's cool too. You should still share this video. But if you feel, Drew, you're talking to me, man. Let's make it happen for you. Let's make it happen for the people you're supposed to serve. And let's get out there. Again, my name's Drew Costa. If you don't know me, I'm a podcast strategist. I helped people launch their podcasts, going into the realm of helping people actually come to where I'm at so we can record it for them, edit it for them, schedule it for them, and help their brands grow so they can stop stressing over just trying to be everything everywhere and they can stay in their zone of genius. My takeaway from this, what I want you to take away is, what do I feel pulled to do now? Did Drew hit a nerve? Did he say something that made me think he's talking exactly to me? I need to make a move. I'm giving you that homework assignment. I'm giving you this challenge because if you don't make this move, you're going to be crying about the same place next year. You're going to have the same excuse next year. You're going to have the same story next year. And I'd rather see you go ahead now, make the step, make the move, take the journey, get the help, instead of singing the same sad song forever. That's you. DM me, click the link in the notes or the bio, wherever you're seeing this. Let's get to work. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.